各位新加坡的同胞们，工人党的支持者，板儿东和盛港西的选民们，大家晚上好。我姓许俊荣，是工人党盛港西的候选人。上届大选后，我说过这届大选会再次到盛港西竞选。今天我很荣幸的能够站在这里，向各位盛港西的选民说，我说到做到了。前天晚上，我尊敬的对手人民行动党的蓝彬明医生问了我一些问题，我想如果不回答他很没有礼貌，所以今天晚上选择一开始就说明。蓝医生问：4年来许俊荣在哪里？我要回答的是，我不是等到大选才出现的哦。蓝医生又问：当居民需要帮忙的时候，许俊荣在哪里？那我就奇怪啦，这当选议员竟然在人民需要帮忙的时候问许俊荣在哪里，是不是要许俊荣做他的工作？蓝医生的问题是要给人的印象说，以为我4年来在家里翘脚，什么都没做，大选来的时候才临时出现。但是事实上，2011年大选过后，我马上就被委托到阿育尼议员陈硕茂先生作为他的国会助理，在每周的接见选民活动上帮忙，也活跃于阿育尼的基层活动。2013年，因为工作太忙的缘故，暂时卸下国会助理的职务，但仍然在党内别的地方帮忙。2014年工作比较没那么忙，后港议员方荣发邀请我到后港帮他，担任他的国会助理。我白天是一个全职的电脑软件工程师，放工后就摇身一变到社区里帮忙。有2个孩子的家庭，但时常不在家。几个月前，当大选将近的时候，开始更加忙碌时，我和念小五的儿子道歉说：“对不起，儿子，爸爸接下来不能拨出时间来陪你。”他的回答是说：“爸爸，我知道你会很忙。可是你平时也是很忙，我已经习惯啦。平时的忙碌，全都是因为我全心全意的先后在阿育尼和后港服务居民。对我来说，无论到哪里，居民才是重心。蓝医生，难道说服务阿育尼和后港的居民就不算是服务社群吗？指责、挑剔别人所做的事情并不困难。困难的是，当看到别人做得不够好，要沉得住气。有一句话说：“不在其位，不谋其政。”蓝医生说：“我没有在发生骨灰塔事件为大家发言。我想法是，我应该尊敬选民的意愿，让当选议员做他原本就应该做的事情啊！难道蓝医生希望我当时出来捞取政治资本吗？”我选择的是比较负责任的方式，去和板儿东议员李丽莲讨论，请他在国会上提出有关骨灰塔的问题，后来才有那个祝英台的故事出来嘛。这4年来，其实我并没有失踪，而是先到了阿育尼当了2年的陈硕茂国会助理，之后到后港帮方荣发，在全力服务居民的同时，在2位议员身边学习，当选议员应该如何解决居民的问题。如果这次大选能够有幸当选的话，我有自信这些年的经验能够派上用场。所以说，蓝医生说他这次会做得更好。若当选，我有信心会做得比他的更好，更加好。所以，盛港西的居民，9月11号，我许俊荣在此郑重恳请你们掌握手中的一票，支持我，把我送进国会，让我能够尽心尽力的在盛港为大家服务。掌握民权，把握未来。Thank you. Let me continue in English. Good evening, fellow Singaporeans, supporters of Workers' Party, voters of Punggol East and Sengkang West. My name is Koh Choong Yong, and I'm the candidate for Sengkang West SMC. I'm grateful that so many of you can come to the Workers' Party rally here tonight. Over the last few days, I've met many residents, and some of them asked me this question: what are my plans for Sengkang West if I get elected? My answer is, the Workers' Party does not believe in making empty promises. The fact is that there are national development plans and there are local plans. If I am elected, I will be able to decide on local plans like other WP wards. I will hold regular activities for residents to bring out the community spirit in Sengkang West. I will conduct Meet the People sessions regularly to help residents to solve the problems they face. On plans regarding the estate, I can only make concrete plans after we have a chance to assess the resources available. On national plans, I will work with the rest of the WP team to champion common issues that have been brought up over the last few days, such as a more holistic and equitable education, a balanced family life, and more reliable and affordable public transport. So most Sengkang West residents would have received a flyer from Dr. Lam Pin Min in his capacity as a grassroots advisor in Sengkang West Grassroots Organization, listing his achievement over the last 4 years. I believe you have seen that. It's an A4 piece of paper. So he's telling what people know is very telling while he signed off the flyer as a grassroots advisor, but he's listing those as his report card as a PAP MP. So I took a quick look at the list of items, and a lot of questions came to mind. On the list, there were primary schools, there was a temple complex, the Riverside Park, the Sengkang West Road, the Sengkang General and Community Hospital, and many, many other things. But the questions that came to my mind are, did LTA build the Sengkang West Road to provide another access route to TP, or did he build it? Did MOE build the primary schools to cater to the demands of the young families here, or did he build it? Did MOH build the hospital because we need more beds in the northeastern part of Singapore, or did he build it? After nomination day, Sengkang West residents also received another manifesto from Dr. Lam. In a few short paragraphs, he described the two things that he's going to do for Sengkang West: a large childcare center and the previous Fernvale Point site, which will be replaced by an integrated community facility. Could be a community center. So some residents asked me, if on 11 September, the residents of Sengkang West do not vote a PAP MP into Parliament, are there good reasons for all this to be taken away? Yes, my answer is no. The plans by our ministries are national plans. They are built with taxpayers' money. They are not built with the MP's money. So 2 nights ago, Dr. Lam in his rally, he said this: do you think the columbarium issue resolved by itself? He said he organized a dialogue session with residents immediately after the issue came out and listened to them and helped to resolve the issues. But as my colleague Leon Pereira aptly put it a few nights ago, the PAP are positioning themselves as heroes for fixing problems that they themselves created. Residents will remember that there was indeed a dialogue session, but from the onset, it was obvious to everyone whose side he was on. Instead of listening to residents, Dr. Lam spent his time trying to explain to residents why they have to accept the current situation. He blamed the residents for not reading the fine print on the brochure, and even blamed residents for having the not in my backyard mentality. So Dr. Lam now says the whole saga shows that the government would not shy away from making the right decisions and reversing it if necessary. Dear voters, it is clear who were the heroes of the day here. It is you, the people of Sengkang West, who made your voices heard loud and clear. You, the people who were able to speak up because you felt empowered. You showed the PAP that the people of Sengkang West would not be easily bullied. You showed the PAP that they cannot take you for granted. Do you want an MP who does not look out for the residents' interests? Do you want an MP whose first reaction was to blame the residents? Do you want an MP who later tell you that if not for him, the problem would not have been solved? Dear residents, what the whole episode has shown us is that we must not allow the PAP to take people for granted. They must be more responsive to people. If this was the yesteryear when there were only 2 opposition MPs in the parliament, what do you think would have happened? In 2005, they just make a very swift decision to build casinos because the people were powerless then to stop them. But in 2014, for a small issue like the columbarium, they have to U-turn because now the people are beginning to be empowered. So dear residents, I'd like to move on to address my so-called disappearance for 4 years, as I explained in Mandarin just now. I'd like to explain it in English now. So Dr. Lam asked, when the people of Sengkang West needed me, where was Koh Choong Yong? So as I said in my earlier speech, I have to respect the votes of the people, and I should not undermine the mandate of the MPs given by the electorate. And this is something that the PAP has trouble understanding. Dr. Lam wants to lead you to believe that I sit at home and shake leg all these 4 years. The fact is, I hold a full-time job in the day as a software engineer and a family with 2 young children aged 11 and 7. And on top of all this time commitment, I committed my time to serve and is active in Aokang and other grassroots activities across WP. As such, I'm hardly home to have dinner with my beloved family. So when the election fever started a few months ago, I spoke to my 11-year-old son, asking him to forgive me for not being able to spend much time with him. His response was, yeah, you're a bit more busy, but you're also as busy during normal times. I am used to it. And that was because I started serving the residents in Aljunied after 2011 and later the residents in Aokang after 2014. To me, no matter where I go, the key point is to serve. So is Dr. Lam saying that my serving residents in Aljunied and residents in Aokang does not count? During my times as legislative assistant to Mr. Chen Shuomao and Mr. Peng Eng Huat, I was able to learn from them, to understand how elected MPs have been able to address the residents' concerns. Today, I am better equipped with the experience to be able to serve Sengkang West residents if elected. I have served the residents in Aljunied and Aokang wholeheartedly. And if I'm elected into Parliament by Sengkang West residents, I will serve the Sengkang West residents equally wholeheartedly. So today a resident came up to me and asked, why was I not able to serve in Sengkang West in the last 4 years? So I explained that other than regular house visits, there's actually no platform for us to hold activities in the area that did not elect Workers' Party candidates into Parliament. Of course, the situation is different from PAP. Because in areas where PAP loses, they will always have a back door. They remain in the area against the wishes of the people who did not vote for them. When a PAP loses an election, he will almost always be appointed as a grassroots advisor to the ward. And they can even hold meet the resident sessions. Dear residents, think about this. The PAP does not respect your vote. The PAP does not respect your choice of MP. The PAP does not respect you. The People's Association has a laudable mission as a unifying institution for our nation, but unfortunately, the PAP has used it for its own purpose. Our manifesto calls for the People's Association to be delinked from the PAP. The association should come under the direction of the President, who can be its chairman. Allowing the present situation to continue will hinder rather than facilitate the mission of the People's Association. So voters of Sengkang West, I stood here 4 years ago asking for a chance to serve you. Tonight, I stand here again asking once more for a chance to serve you. Do you want to be led by leaders who do not protect the interests of the people? Do you want to be led by leaders whose first instinct is to blame the people? Is this the kind of Singapore you want your children to inherit? Dear voters of Sengkang West, you will only be empowered if your voices are heard. If I am elected to be your MP, I will not hesitate to speak up for you in Parliament and work for the interests of Sengkang West and Singapore. Come September 11, vote Workers' Party, empower your future.